Welcome. This is a Course of Love book group. So we are reading this book, A Course of Love by First Receiver Mari Perot. And this session we're on chapter 5. So if you have uh, not been joining with us every week, it's okay. You can come in at any time. And any past chapters that we've read are all on YouTube or on Facebook under Kimberly Nim, or they're on YouTube under A Course of Love. So you can find them there or read on your own, whatever you choose to do. So tonight, again, is chapter 5, and it's relationship. So I'll begin, and then others who come in later, you're welcome to pick up and read at any time. I welcome that. So, chapter 5, relationship. The Christ in you is wholly human and wholly divine. As the wholly divine, nothing is unknown. As the wholly human, everything has been forgotten. Thus we begin to relearn the known as the one who already possesses all. It is this joining of the human and divine that ushers in love's presence. As all that caused you fear and pain falls away, and you recognize again what love is. It is this joining of the human and divine that is your purpose here, the only purpose worthy of your thought. You who have so filled your mind with senseless wanderings and thoughts that think of nothing that is real, rejoice that there is a way to end this chaos. The world you see is chaos, and nothing in it, including your thoughts, are trustworthy. This is why your thoughts must be newly dedicated to the only purpose worthy of your thought, the purpose of joining with your real self, the Christ in you. I said earlier, it is only through union with me that you learn, because it is only in union with me that you are yourself. Now we must expand your understanding of union and of relationship, as well as your understanding of me. Union is impossible without God. God is union. Is this not like saying God is love? Love is impossible without union. The same is true of relationship. God creates all relationship. When you think of relationship, you think of one relationship and then another. The one you share with this friend or that, with husband or wife, with child or employer or parent. In thinking in these specific terms, you lose the meaning of the holy relationship. Relationship itself is holy. Relationship exists apart from particulars. This is what you can't conceive of and what your heart must newly learn. All truth is generalizable because truth is not concerned with any of the specific details or forms of your world. You think relationship exists between one body and another, and while you think this is so, you will not understand relationship or union or come to recognize love as what it is. Relationship is what exists between one thing and another. It is not one thing or another thing. It is not a third thing in terms of being a third object, but it is something separate, a third something. You realize that a relationship exists between your hand and a pencil when you go to write something down. But it is a relationship you take so completely for granted that you have forgotten that it exists. All truth lies in relationship, even one so simple as this. The pencil is not real, nor the hand that grasps it. Yet the relationship between the two is quite real. When two or more are joined together, is not an injunction for bodies to unite. It is a statement that describes the truly real, the only reality that exists. It is the joining that is real and causes all creation to sing a song of gladness. No one thing exists without another. Cause and effect are one. Thus, one thing cannot cause another without there being one or joined in truth. We are beginning now to paint you a new picture, a picture of things unseen before, but visible to your heart, if not your eyes. Your heart knows love without a vision of it. You'll give it form and say, I love this one, or I love that. Yet you know that love exists apart from the object of your affection. Love is set apart in a frame not of this world. You hold objects up to capture it, to put a frame around love's vision and say, this is it. Yet once you have it captured and hanging for all to look at and behold, you realize this is not love at all. You then begin your building of defenses. your evidence to cite, to say, yes, indeed, this is love, and I have it here. It hangs upon my wall, and I gaze upon it. It is mine to own and keep and cherish, as long as it is where I can look upon it. It is real to me, and I am safe. Ah, you think, when you find love, now my heart is singing. Now I know what love is all about. And you attach the love you have found to the one in whom you found it, and seek immediately to preserve it. There are millions of museums to love, far more than there are altars. Yet your museums cannot preserve love. You have become collectors rather than gatherers. Your fear has grown so mighty that all that would combat it is collected for safekeeping. Like the frame of love upon your wall, the collections that fill your shelves, whether they are ideas or money or things to look at, are your desperate attempts to keep something for yourself away from all the rest. In static love, apart, you recognized it had no place here, but you went on to set yourself apart and all else that you could find to define as valuable. You build your banks as well as your museums as palaces to your love, and no longer see the golden calves hiding within the palace walls. This urge to preserve things is but your urge to leave a mark upon the world, a mark that says, I have acquired much in my time here. These things I love are what I leave the world, what I pass down. They declare that I was here. Again, you have the right idea, yet it is so sadly displaced as to make a mockery of who you are. Love does mark your place, but in eternity, not here. What you leave behind is never real. Love gathered together is a celebration. Love collected is but a mockery of love. This difference must be recognized and understood, as must the urge to set love apart from all the rest. For with understanding, these urges can be made to make sense. With understanding, they can begin to bring sanity to an insane world. You do not yet believe nor understand that the urges that you feel are real and neither good nor bad. Your feelings in truth come from love. Your response to them is what is guided by fear. Even feelings of destruction and violence come from love. You are not bad, and you have no feelings that can be labeled so. Yet you are misguided concerning what your feelings mean and how they would bring love to you and you to love. It is in understanding the relationship that exists between what you feel and what you do that love's lessons are learned. Each feeling requires that you enter into a relationship with it. For it is here that you will find love. It is in every joining, every entering into, that love exists. Every joining, every entering into is preceded by a suspension of judgment. Thus, what is judged cannot be joined nor entered into, where it can be understood. What is judged remains outside of you, and it is what remains outside that calls you to do what love would call you not to do. What remains outside is all that has not joined with you. What has joined with you becomes real in the joining, and what is real is only love. Do you see the practicality of this lesson? What terror can be caused by an urge to violence that, once joined with love, becomes something else? An urge to violence may mean many things, but always lurking behind it is an overwhelming desire for peace. Peace may mean destruction of the old, and love can facilitate the rise and fall of many armies. What armies of destruction will rock the world when they are brought to love? Within you is all the world safe, sure, and secure. No terror reigns. No nightmares rule the night. Let me give you once again the difference between what is within and what is without. Within is all that is joined with you. Without is all that you would keep separate. Within you is every relationship you ever had with anything. Outside of you is all that you have kept apart, labeled, judged, and collected on yourselves. This is all the two worlds are made of. The one you see is real, is the one you keep outside of yourself, making it possible to look upon it with your body's eyes. The one you do not see and do not believe in is the one you cannot look outward to see, but is the one that nonetheless is truly real. To look inward at the real world requires another kind of vision, the vision of your heart, the vision of love, the vision of the Christ in you. You look outside the doors of your home, and whether you see suburban streets bathed in lamplight, streets that teem with garbage and crime, or cornfields growing, you say that is the real world. It is the world you go out into in order to earn your living, receive your education, find your mate. But the home in which you stand, much like your inner world, is where you live the life that makes the most sense. It is where your values are formed, your decisions are made, your safety found. This comparison is not idly drawn. Your home is within, and it is real as the home you have made within the world seems to be. You can say the real world is somewhere outside yourself, as you picture the real world being beyond your doors, but saying this cannot make it so. It is your continuing desire to have a relationship only with the world without that causes such a world to remain. This is because your definition of relationship is not one of joining. What you join with becomes real. As you take it into yourself, you thereby make it real because you make it one with your real self. This is reality. All you do not join with remains outside and is illusion. For what is not one with you does not exist. You thus become a body moving through a world of illusion where nothing is real and nothing is happening in truth. This illusionary world is full of things you have told yourself and been instructed that you have to do, but that you do not want to do. The more your life consists of such things, the smaller your reality becomes. All that would join with you and become part of the real world of your creation remains beyond your reach. There is nothing in your world that cannot be made holy through relationship with you. For you are holiness itself. You do not know this only because you fill your mind and leave your heart empty. Your heart becomes full only through relationship or union. A full heart can overshadow a full mind, leaving no room for senseless thoughts, but only for what is truly real. The first and only exercise for your mind within this course has already been stated. Dedicate your thought to union. When senseless thoughts fill your mind, when resentments arise, when worry comes, repeat the thought that comes to open your heart and clear your mind. I dedicate all thought to union. As often as you need to replace senseless thoughts, think of this and say to yourself, not once, but 100 times a day if needed. You do not need to worry about what to replace your senseless thoughts with, as your heart will intercede by fulfilling its longing for union as soon as you have expressed your willingness to let it do so. You do not yet understand the strength of your resistance to the union that would turn hell into heaven, insanity to peace. You do not yet understand your ability to choose that which you make real in your creation of the world. The only meaning possible for free will is this: what you choose to join with you and what you choose to leave outside of yourself. Your desire to be separate is the most insane desire of which you have conceived. Over all your longing for union, you place this desire to be separate and alone. Your entire resistance to God is based on this. You think you have chosen to be separate from God so you can make it on your own. And while you long to return to God and the heaven that is your home, you do not want to admit that you cannot get there on your own. You thus have made of life a test, believing you can pass or fail through your own effort. Yet the more you struggle to do so on your own, the more you realize the futility of your efforts, even though you do not want to admit that your efforts are futile. You cling to effort as if it is the way to God, not wanting to believe all the effort is in vain, or that a simple solution exists. A simple solution within your world, a solution that requires no exertion on your part, is seen to be of little value. The individual, you reason, is made through all this effort and struggle, and without it would not be. In this, you are correct. For as you make of yourself an individual, you deny yourself your union with all others. All your efforts to be an individual are concentrated on the life of your body. Your concentration on the life of your body is meant to keep your body separate. Overcoming is your catchphrase here as you struggle to overcome all the adversity and the obstacles that will keep you from having what you think you want to have. This is your definition of life. While it remains, it defines the life you see as real. It presents you with 1,000 choices to make, not once but many times, until you believe that your power of choice is a fantasy, that you are powerless indeed. You thus narrow what you want and go after it with single-minded determination, believing the only choice within your control is what to work hard to obtain. If you let all the world recede and concentrate on this one choice, you reason that you are bound to eventually succeed. This is the extent of your faith in your own ability to maneuver this world that you have made. And if you finally do succeed, your faith is seen as justified. The cost is not examined nor acknowledged. Yet when this faith is realized, the cost becomes quite real. Rather than feeling as if you have gained, feelings of loss will now be what you fight to overcome. What have you done wrong, you wonder? Why are you not satisfied with all you have achieved? This getting what you want that drives your life is proven time and time again to not be what you want once you have achieved it. Yet you think when this occurs, you have simply chosen the wrong thing, and so choose another and another, not stopping to realize that you choose among illusions. You are so surprised that you have not found happiness in what you seek. You continue living life as a test, driving yourself to follow one accomplishment with another, sure that the next one or the next will be the one to do the trick. A trick this is indeed, for what has once failed to work will surely fail again. Stop now and give up what you think you want. Stop now and realize your reaction to these words, the strength of your resistance. Give up what you want? This is surely what you have expected God to ask of you and what you have spent your lifetime guarding against. Why should you make this sacrifice? What then would your life be for? You want so little, really. How can you be asked to give this up? You do want little, and only when you realize this can you proceed to claiming everything that is yours. For every joining, every union that you enter into, your real world is increased, and what is left to terrify you decreases. This is the only loss that union generates, and it is a loss of what was merely illusion. A union begins to look more attractive to you. You are beginning to wonder how it comes about. There must be some secret you do not know. What is the difference, you ask, between setting a goal and achieving it and joining with something? These do not have to be two separate things, but are made so by your choice. The choice to achieve what you will on your own. This is all the difference there is between union and separation. Separation is all you perceive on your own. Union is all that you invite me into and share with God. You cannot be alone nor without your Father, yet your invitation is unnecessary for your awareness of this presence. As I once was, you are both human and divine. What your human self has forgotten, your real self retains for you, waiting only for your welcome to make it known to you once more. God is known to you in relationships, as this is all that is real here. God cannot be seen in illusion, nor known to those who fear him. All fear is fear of relationship, and thus fear of God. You can accept terror that reigns in another part of the world because you feel no relationship to it. It is only in relationship that anything becomes real. This you realize, and so you strive to keep far from you all that in relationship with you would add to your discomfort and to your pain. To think that any relationship can cause terror, discomfort, or pain is where you err in thinking of relationship. You think that to come into contact with violence is to have a relationship with it. This is not so. If this were so, you would be joined to all you come into contact with, and the world would be heaven indeed, as all you see became blessed by your holiness. That you move through your world without relating to it in any way is what caused your alienation from the heavens it can be. Remember now one lovely day, for each of you has had at least one that was a shining light in a world of darkness, a day in which the sun shone on your world and you felt part of everything. Every tree and every flower welcomed you. Every drop of water seemed to refresh your soul. Every breeze to carry you to heaven. Every smile seemed meant for you, and your feet hardly seemed to touch the soft ground on which you walk. This is what awaits you as you join with what you see. This awaits you as you place no judgment on the world, and in so doing, join with everything and extend your holiness across a world of grief, causing it to become a world of joy. Hi, Linda.
Hello.
That was chapter 5. Are you feeling up to reading tonight?
I don't have the book with me.
It's okay.
Yeah, thank you.
I will try to read another chapter going into chapter 6. After a while, I read and everything turns to light, and so it's this book is so full of light.
Whatever you like to do, that's great.
Okay. Chapter 6, Forgiveness Joining. Joining rests on forgiveness. This you have heard before, without the understanding what it is you would forgive. You must forgive reality for being what it is. Reality, the truly real, is relationship. You must forgive God for creating a world in which you cannot be alone. You must forgive God for creating a shared reality before you can understand it is the only one you would want to have. You have to forgive this reality for being different than you have always imagined it to be. You have to forgive yourself for not being able to make it on your own because you have realized the impossibility of doing so. You have to forgive yourself for being what you are, a being who exists only in relationship. You have to forgive all others for being as you are. They too cannot be separate, no matter how hard they try. Forgive them. Forgive yourself. Forgive God. Then you will be ready to begin learning just how different it really is to live in the reality of relationship. Your brother does not exist apart from you, nor you apart from your brother. This is reality. Your mind is not contained within your body, but is one with God and shared equally with all alike. This is reality. The heart that is the center of your being is the center of everything that exists. This is reality. None of these things make you less than what you have perceived yourself to be. But they do make it impossible for you to be separate. You can desire what is impossible until the end of your days, but you cannot make it possible. Why not forgive the world for being other than what you have thought it to be, and begin to learn what it really is? This is what the world is here for. And when you have learned what it would teach you, you will have need of it no more. And you will gently let it go and find heaven in its place. This is all that the words and symbols and forms and structures of your world have come to teach you. Stated as simply and directly as is possible. You are neither separate nor alone, and never were and never can be. All your illusions were created in order to obscure this fact of your existence, because you would rather it not be so. Only when you quit wishing for what cannot be can you begin to see what is. I was least accepted as prophet and savior by those who were most like me, those who watched me grow, worked alongside my parents, and lived in the same town. This was because they knew I was not different from them, and they would not accept that they were the same as me. They were then, and you are now, no different than I. We are all the same because we are not separate. God created the universe as an interrelated whole. That the universe is an interrelated whole is no longer disputed even by science. What you have made to hide your reality has been, with the help of the Holy Spirit, turned into that which will help you learn what your reality really is. Yet you still refuse to listen and to learn. You still prefer things to be other than what they are, and through your preference choose to keep it so. make a new choice. The choice that your heart yearns to make for you and that your mind is finding increasingly difficult to deny. When you choose unity over separation, you choose reality over illusion. You end opposition by choosing harmony. You end conflict by choosing peace. All this forgiveness can do for you. Forgiveness of the original error, the choice to believe that you are separate, despite the fact that this is not so and cannot ever be. What loving creator would create a universe in which such a thing could be? A thing alone would be a thing created without love, for love creates like itself and is forever one with everything that has been created. This simple realization will start you on the path to learning what your heart would have you learn. The fact that you are not alone in the world shows you that you are not meant to be alone. Everything here is to help you learn to perceive correctly, and from there to go beyond perception to the truth. What is the opposite of separation but being joined in relationship? Everything joined with you in relationship is holy because of what you are. Every contrast that you see here but points to this truth. Evil is only seen in relation to good. Chaos is only seen in relation to peace. While you see these as separate things, you do not see what the relationship would show you. Contrast demonstrates, which is why it is a favorite teaching device of the Holy Spirit. Contrast demonstrates only to reveal the relationship that exists between truth and illusion. When you choose to deny relationship, you chose a thought system based on the opposite of your reality. Thus, each choice to deny union reveals its opposite. What is separate from peace is chaos. What is separate from good is evil. What is separate from the truth is insane. Since you cannot be separate, all these factors that oppose your reality exist only in opposition to it. This is what you chose to create when you chose to pretend you can be what you cannot be. You chose to live in opposition to the truth, and the opposition is of your making. Choose again and let go your fear of what the truth will bring. What could be more insane than that which you now call sanity? What loss can there be in joining with what is so like yourself? It is only a small step away from where you currently stand, so helpless and alone. Yet fear you do and the maintenance of your fear keeps you very busy. You stoke its fire, lest it go out, and leave you to a warmth not of this world. This is the warmth that you would have, a warmth so all-pervasive, no chill of winter need ever arise again. And yet, still you choose the fire. You choose the fires of hell to the light of heaven. Only you can stoke these fires, and this is what makes them desirable to you. A warmth not of this world, given freely, with no work involved, causes you to shake your head. How can it be for you if you cannot put in effort to attain it? And even if it were so, what then? Some, you think, might choose to live near the equator, to have the sunshine every day, and the need to stoke the fire put behind them. But not you. You think, prefer the seasons, the cold as well as the warmth, the snow as well as the rain, the dark of night, and the clouds that block the sun. Without all these, what would life be? Perpetual sunshine would be too easy, too lacking in imagination, too sterile. To have every day the same would be uninteresting now. Perhaps later, maybe when you are old and have grown weary of the world, then maybe you will sit in the sun. This is the heaven of your mind, the meaning you give to join me, the face you put on eternal peace. With such a vision in your mind, it is no wonder that you choose it not, or that you put it off until the end of your days. A heaven such as this would be for the old and the infirm, the ones ready to leave the world, those who have already grown worn out from it. What fun would such a heaven be for those of you still young and full of vigor, those still willing to face another battle, those who have not yet faced every challenge. If there is a mountain left to climb, why choose heaven? Surely it can be chosen later, when disease has taken your limbs' use from your control, and your mind no longer races forward to what is next. Eagerness for life and eagerness for heaven are seen to be in opposition. Heaven and its milieu of eternal peace is rightly kept, you think, for the end of life, and so you scream at the unfairness when a young one leaves the world. Heaven is not for the young, you say. How unfair that those who die young have not had a chance at life, a chance to face the struggle and the challenge, the coming of the new day and the dying of the old. How sad they have not had the opportunity to stand separate and alone and become what they would become. What they are is no more valued than what you are. What is still to come is what you live for, with the undying hope that it will not be that which came before. For every challenge faced is but a call to face the next. And each one comes to replace the old with hope that this will be the one, and equal hope that it will not. To succeed is but a little death, from which you must hurry on to where the challenge of a new success and new reason to exist awaits. The carrot of fulfillment you hold before yourself, when grasped, is quickly eaten, and life feeds on itself once again. Just as you eat to still your hunger, only to become hungry again, so does the rest of your life need this constant maintenance to retain the reality you have given it. Struggle to succeed, and succeed to struggle yet another day, is the life you have made, and the life you fear heaven would replace. To give up the idea that this is where meaning is found, fulfillment attained, happiness birthed amongst sorrow, is seen as giving up. Heaven's help is most called upon for just this time when giving up is close. For never do you feel more in need of help than when all your plans have failed and giving up becomes an alternative more attractive than carrying on. Few ask for the grace to give up what has been for what could be. For giving up is seen as failure, and here is what you fear the most. To not succeed at life would indeed be a failure if it were possible for it to be so. Yet even this possibility you would cling to, for with no chance of failure is no chance of success, or so you reason. The contrast that you have come to see in your separated state makes only either or situations possible. While a choice for heaven is indeed a choice to renounce hell, while truth is indeed a choice to renounce illusion. These are the only real choices that exist. And they do not extend into your illusions, but only into truth. For in truth are all illusions gone. In heaven is all thought of hell forever vanquished. How can I convince you that peace is what you want when you do not know what peace is? Those who once worshipped golden calves did so because they knew of no other choice. A God of love was as foreign a concept to them as is a life of peace to you. What is foreign to the world has changed, but the world has not. Those who live with war seek peace. Those who live with failure seek success. Put another way, both are saying this: You seek to make sense of an insane world, to find meaning within meaninglessness, purpose among the purposeless. How can I make peace attractive to you who know it not? The Bible says, the sun shines and the rain falls on the good and evil alike. Why then do you think that peace is endless sunshine? Peace is merely enjoyment of the rain and sun, night as well as day. Without judgment cast upon it, peace shines on all that you would look upon, as well as every situation you would face. Situations too are relationships. When peace enters your relationships, situations too are what they are meant to be and seen in heaven's holy light. No longer do situations pit one against another, making it impossible for anyone to achieve what they would achieve. The challenge now is in creation rather than accomplishment. With peace, accomplishment is achieved in the only place where it makes any sense to desire it. With your accomplishment comes the freedom and the challenge of creation. Creation becomes the new frontier, the occupation of those too young to rest, too interested in living, still to welcome the peace of dying. Those who would not change the world one iota through their constant effort in peace create the world anew. Here they find the loveliest of answers to their questions. It takes not time, nor money, nor the sweat of their brow to change the world. It takes only love. A forgiven world is whole, and in its wholeness, one with you. It is here, in wholeness, that peace abides and heaven is. It is from wholeness that heaven waits for you. Think about this now. For how could heaven be a separate place, a piece of geography distinct from all the rest? How could it not encompass everything and still be what it is? Home to God's beloved Son and dwelling place of God Himself. It is because God is not separate from anything that you cannot be. It is because God is not separate from anything that heaven is where you are. It is because God is love that all your relationships are holy, and from them you can find the way to Him and to your holy self. Are your relationships with those you love severed when they leave this world? Do you not still think of them? And do you not still think of them as who they were in life? What is the difference in your mind between who they were and who they are after death? In honesty, will you admit an envy, an awareness that they still exist, but without the pain and burden of the body, without the limits placed upon those who remain? You imagine them still in bodily form, perhaps, yet you imagine them happy and at peace. Even those who claim not to believe in God or an afterlife of any sort will, when prompted to be truthful, admit this is an image that lights their mind with peace and hope. This image is as ancient as the earth and sky and all that lies beyond it. It did not arise from fantasy, nor did it pass from one mind to the next, as stories often will. It is but part of your awareness of who you are, an awareness you would deny in favor of thoughts of death so grim they make of life a nightmare. It is your denial of all your happy thoughts that has led you to a life of such unhappiness. Thoughts of terror and of sin you will embrace, but thoughts of resurrection and new life you still before they have a chance at birth, and call them wishful thinking. What harm do you expect happy thoughts to do to you? At best, you see them as delusional, but what you fear is disappointment. And all you have wished for and have not acquired within your life is the evidence you would use to deny yourself hope of any kind. You do not understand the difference between wishing for what can never be and accepting what is. The world cannot fail to disappoint you, for your conception of it is based upon deception. You have deceived only yourself, and your deception has not changed what is, nor will it ever succeed in doing so. Only God and His appointed helpers can lead you from this self-deception to the truth. You have been so successful at deception that you no longer can see the light unaided. But join your brother and the light begins to shine, for all are here to aid you. This is the purpose of the world and of love most kind, to end your self-deception and return you to the light. So that ends chapter 6, and that ends the book group tonight of A Course of Love by Mari Perron, first receiver. So thank you for everyone who joined me tonight, and thank you to all who will see this video later. Thank you all.